It is an absolute miserable day out today. You can see it's pouring rain, you can hear it, but we are going to take a little bit of a road trip to another car launch. Pretty exciting one actually. We're gonna go and see the brand new Lamborghini Urus. But it is about 200 kilometers away, or about 125 miles away. So I wanted something that was comfortable, but also really good on gas, because our fuel prices here on the West Coast are outrageous. They're really expensive, and I want to save some pennies in the pocket. So I've chosen the Toyota Camry Hybrid. This is the new one. This is the SE. It looks sporty, and we are at 0 miles or kilometers right now, and we're averaging 0. The motor's not started. We're gonna put into drive, and we're gonna go. So buckle in for a ride. Guess what? Weather knows no geographical boundaries. We've crossed into the US from Canada, and it's raining just as hard here. Of course. Anyways, all kidding aside, we are on our journey here. Now, most of our trip is going to be on the interstate. We're taking the I-5 and then to the 405 for over 100 miles. We are going to get into some areas. We're going to slow down a little bit. And that's where the advantage of the hybrid will come in. But yeah, normally hybrids aren't, they're not optimized for highway driving. If you're going to do a lot of highway driving, you know, you're not really getting the performance or the best economy out of a hybrid system. So what's powering this hybrid Camry? It's a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder Atkinson cycle engine, and that's matched to their new generation hybrid system. When you combine the two together, it equals 208 horsepower, which is fairly respectable. That's matched to a continuously variable transmission. This one actually has, you can put it into sport mode, and you can shift it manually. It also has paddle shifters behind the wheel as well. Yeah, seriously, you know what, this is a sport model. First of all, what does a sport model get you? You get 18-inch wheels, you get the sport cladding, you know, the spoiler, the aero, and it really does look sporty. I love this color, this blue. So, you know, you're really getting a sporty car. This is not a sports car by any means, especially if you're going to go into the hybrid. Most likely you're trying to get the most efficiency out of your drive, and I honestly don't think you're really going to use those paddle shifters a lot on this type of vehicle. On other vehicles, maybe, but on this one, yeah, probably not so much. And you probably noticed that the images that I'm showing here are not the images in this rainy day. Well, 2 reasons. First of all, it's pouring rain, and these images just look so much better. And second of all, I'm driving by myself. I have no one else with me, so there's no one else that can actually film this car while I'm driving. For the first 45 minutes so far, what have I noticed on this Camry Hybrid? Well, comfort-wise, very comfortable. The SE gets these sport seats, so they have kind of like a leather or leatherette trim, and the inserts look, they're quite attractive, this stripe pattern, and it matches the interior very well, and it matches the type of material or pattern they have going on the front dash here. These are heated seats. One thing though, I don't find that they're getting really that hot. I'm on number 3 right now. It's not that cold out, and it's warm, but it's not searing hot, so I don't know when I would use number 1 and 2. Heated rear seats, not available in the rear. We mentioned that when we did our review of the Camry when it first came out. One nice thing though, I loaded up a bunch of stuff for this trip in the back, in the trunk, lots of room. The beauty of the new Camry Hybrid, built on the TNGA, the Toyota New Global Architecture platform, is that they were able to change the location of the batteries so they're not underneath the trunk anymore. So you have no compromise for space. This has the same trunk space as the regular gasoline Camry, which is that's a great thing. Then you get to the ergonomics and the infotainment. Everything's easy to reach. I love the steering wheel. I think a lot of us take it for granted. The steering wheel, I've always said, it's the thing that you touch the most when you're driving. It should be the best thing on the car, practically. And this is a leather-wrapped steering wheel, and lots of other cars do have a leather-wrapped steering wheel. But this one, it's very smooth. It feels very premium. I got to tell you, I've been in some other vehicles that they have a leather-wrapped steering wheel, and the stitching is kind of sharp on the inside sometimes. And this one it's very, very nice. The steering, it's not super light. It has a very nice on-center feel. We're doing 120K right now, and we're gonna put the brakes on. Ooh, something's happening here. Well, I guess we're gonna use that hybrid system now. So, oh, it looks like there is an accident. Oh. That's not good. Someone wasn't paying attention. Maybe texting, maybe. Anyways, let's continue on. Then we get to the center unit, which is the Toyota Entune system. What is that? Well, Toyota came out with their own proprietary system, and you can hook it with your phone, and the difference is that it uses your data on your phone, which, you know, data is pretty cheap right now, and when you go into apps, so you download the app on your phone, and you go into apps right now, and you have things like the Entune app suite. You've got Slacker, NPR One, Yelp, Fuel, Stocks. You know, I don't know, you know, like a lot of these things I wouldn't use even at home, regardless of in a car. Maybe Yelp, but really, if you're driving, do you really need to check out Yelp? Maybe location, maybe if you're going to a restaurant. Okay, but other than that, I just kind of find it redundant. If you just had Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you don't need that at all. So what did Toyota do this year, at the beginning of this year, at the Detroit Auto Show, when they introduced the 2019 Avalon? Big news. Apple CarPlay is going to be included in that. Then, just recently at the New York Auto Show, when they introduced the all-new 2019 RAV4, which is coming out at the end of this year of 2018, Apple CarPlay again. So we're seeing a trend here. Also, we're also seeing a trend, though, is that on those two vehicles, there's no Android Auto. So I've been getting a lot of comments on that and complaints, you know, I'm not buying it until they have Android Auto, blah, blah, blah. So here is kind of, you know, what I've heard from a Toyota representative when I asked them about Android Auto. What they said was, it's not that they'll never get Android Auto, but these things take time. It's not just, let's just implement it and just put it in. They said that they had to do a lot of security vetting and make sure that all the security protocols are met for their customers. And if they weren't met, they're not going to put it in. And apparently Apple's CarPlay did meet those requirements. But look how long that even took. That's what they even said. It takes a long time. So it's not, you can't say that they're never ever going to get Android. Perhaps they're just looking into it and they have maybe some security issues that they'd like to see corrected before they get it. Anyways, that's their story, and I'll leave you that information, and you can take that and use that information however you want. That's what I was told. The new Camry comes standard with Toyota Safety Sense P, and that includes things like pedestrian protection, frontal collision alert, and radar cruise control, and that's one thing that's really helpful on long, really mundane drives like this trip I'm doing. This I-5 is not exciting, and really this is the worst day to drive. It's awful. The weather is terrible, but the radar cruise control has been a godsend. It's really handy. That and the XM radio is very, very good too. But so you set your speed, you set your distance. It's great, and even in this heavy rain and there's a lot of mist, it's working. But we did have one instance about halfway through. I had a warning that said the pre-collision warning system was off, had a little star. And then when I tried to engage the radar cruise control, it also said that it was unavailable and I need to clean the sensor. So if everything isn't working up to speed, then it won't work at all, which is good. You know that when it is working, it's working then. After stopping for a bite to eat, I wiped down the front. I didn't see anything, but after I wiped it down and started back here, we are on radar cruise right now. We are set for 120 kilometers an hour. We are behind some traffic right now, so we're doing just under 100. So we're close to our destination. Tonight we're going to participate in the new Lamborghini Urus launch. And then in the morning on our way back, hopefully the weather will be better and I'll give you my final thoughts on this Toyota Camry Hybrid. Okay, that was a lot of fun, and you have to admit, that Lamborghini Urus is a pretty cool looking SUV in and out. And in person, it even looks better than the pictures. It's one of those cars that pictures just don't do it justice. So, guess what? It's not raining today. We're heading home, another 200 kilometers back home. So, what do I think of this Camry Hybrid and how did it perform for our trip? Well, first of all, the number one thing that I picked this vehicle for was for comfort and fuel economy, and it has those no problem. It was very comfortable. One thing, however, not to do with comfort, but for usability, I had a problem with the Bluetooth system, and I don't know if that's hooked to the Entune system or not. But a few times where if I phoned somebody or if they phoned me, it would say that it was on the Bluetooth on the system for the Toyota Camry, yet I couldn't hear the person. And same if I was phoning out, same thing. And I would switch it on my phone, and I'm pretty sure it's probably the system and not my phone because it doesn't do that with other vehicles. So that might be a little bit of a software glitch. I mentioned this does have heated seats. Those were nice. It's quite cool outside. And I like that they do have a memory, so wherever you leave it, when you shut the car off, when you turn it back on, it remains the same. And that's not even a mechanical switch, so I like that. I mentioned this before as well when we first tested the Camry. There's no heated steering wheel. And for a lot of people, that's not a big deal. But the fact is, a lot of the other competitors do have it. So I think Toyota should maybe rethink that, maybe add a heated steering wheel in the next model, as well as have an option for heated rear seats. And like I said, the competitors have it, so why not keep up with the Joneses? And then you get to the best thing about the hybrid, and that's fuel economy. And we were not babying it. We're doing mainly like 110, 120 kilometers an hour, which is around 75 miles per hour the entire way down. And we did have it in eco mode, and we averaged 5 liters per 100K. That's really, really good, especially for highway driving, when hybrids are mainly geared more for city driving to get the best fuel economy out of them. And that's really important to me, though, is the low fuel economy, because the gas prices on the west coast of Canada are at an all-time high. We are paying $1.55 a liter right now. And for those in other parts of the country or the United States, what does that equate to? Well, here in the US, that would, after doing all the conversions, that would equate to $4.60 a gallon US. That's at least $1.50 more per gallon than what anyone's paying here in Washington State. So that is just insane. It's the highest gas price anywhere in North America. And if those prices continue, that's really gonna drive people into cars like this Toyota Camry. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little road trip and our real-life fuel economy test on this Toyota Camry. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe, and also hit that notification icon so you'll know when the next video comes out. Thanks for watching. Take care. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see more everyday reviews, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.